going to. We're going to call this meeting to order. It is 2:31 p.m. on the 8th of October.
It's locked and loose inside the garage. Just bed it down.
Mr. Hanson?
Here.
Mr. Morton?
Oh.
Mr. Witt? Here. Mr. Mose here. Mr. Howe? Here. Ms. Cards? Here. These people have quorum.
Craig has an extra pen.
Okay, may I? Nice.
I'm surprised he sometimes can.
All AMATS meetings are public meetings. The public is invited to comment, and we have a business item on a presentation by staff or a consultant, and then the committee will be given a chance to discuss it, and then at that point, the public will be invited to comment.
Thank you. So first item, we have no minutes this month, so approval of the agenda. Move to approve. Second. Moved by Ms. Howe, second by Ms. Cards. Are there any opposed to the motion? Hearing none, the agenda is approved. All right, first item in front of us is the draft 2016-2018 Unified Planning Work Program, UPWP.
So just a quick reminder, this is these are the planning funds that we will utilize in the next 2 years for staff efforts, staff including my 4 planners, myself, Aaron, a certain amount of Aaron's time over at DOT, and then admin folks here at the Muni for our payroll, grant accounting, and for Lori's time as she does our minutes. And so these are not capital dollars, these are not what roads are built, these are staff effort. And we just had a work session on, I believe it was Monday, then Tuesday, how a blur. But you have this document before you and the large 11 by 17 with the budget. So what we have before us is this document, which should, for the most part, have some few minor edits that occurred at that meeting, including Jamie added all the dollar figures out of the budget and put them into this document. As we mentioned at that work session, this is a very different format than our previous UPWPs. It is based on recommendations and et cetera, findings by the Federal Transit Administration and Federal Highway Administration that grew out of our last certification review. And they sent several examples of UPWPs, or programs that they liked from different places. And so Jamie morphed those together to create this lovely document. And so what we're asking for you today is to release this for a 30-day public review. Our next, we need to get this adopted with the November policy committee so that we can send this down to DOT headquarters and they can do their due diligence with it before they send it on to the feds, our federal partners, to get it approved and accepted by them. So that's kind of a tight time frame, but that's what happens. We don't get our application from the state until October 1st. So it's kind of crunches us up. But what we're looking to do is get the 30-day public review, and then instead of having our November TAC meeting on the 5th, we would have it on the 12th, and then get it approved the following week by the policy committee. So, happy to answer questions. The request is to have you release this for 30 days.
And Craig, during the public review, would it be okay to go ahead and forward copies of the draft to headquarters and to FTA, and they think should be away so they can start looking at it so that we know if they have any concerns before we submit it in final?
Absolutely, that is my plan. I
Thanks.
thought about sending it a few times in the last couple of days, and I thought I'll wait till Thursday just in case. What I would ask, though, for the members of the TAC and certainly members of the public is that if you have comments, edits, etc., please get those to us, preferably in the next 3 weeks, because as I said, the November 12th, that's the date for the next TAC, and that's also the date we need to post it for the policy committee meeting. So if members come in at that 12th meeting with a whole bunch of changes, the turnaround is gonna be super challenging for Jamie to get it posted. So the sooner you get any comments, edits, I know Transit has dollar figures to give to us. The sooner you can get it, the better. I will send the draft down to FHWA, and then Aaron, you can send it to headquarters. I'm not sure if to send it to Mike, or whoever you need to send it to.
Yep.
And get them to get a kick at it quickly. That'd be great.
I did get edits from Transit at like 5:30 on Tuesday, so, and I was out yesterday, so I didn't get a chance to make those changes yet, so they're not in here.
Will they be made before this gets posted?
Yeah. Well,
Yes, I'll make those changes before we send it to FTA and FHWA for review.
Before it gets posted on the, before it gets released.
Release for the 30-day?
Yeah.
Yes,
It will be.
yes, I'll go back and do those.
Can you tell us what they were?
Essentially, the edits that were made, there was some funding that was added, and then there was also edits just to show the ongoing, the as required, and then any specific deadlines that were,
No, I meant the stuff that you're gonna change for.
for Jody in transit. Do you want them?
No, just in general, Jody, maybe Jody can just give us an overview of were there any substantive changes, were they just clarification?
I don't know that you saw them.
Yeah, I think it's.
Christine just sent them to me.
Right, and I don't believe they were really substantial changes.
No, they're currently in the document. They were put into the ongoing category or the as required or the 2016 or 17 deadlines.
So
This is, the information will stand as it is. It'll just be organized by those categories.
And the dollar amount.
And the dollar amount. Sorry.
Is there any elements in here that are implementation of items of the MTP
I didn't have a chance to go through that yet.
and add those?
But I think that we should add those action items from the MTP. So maybe that's something you and I can
Maybe during the
go through.
and stuff,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's an important piece, for sure.
Thank you.
Mhm.
If we could do that before it goes to policy for their informational. I think that copy that they have would be helpful.
Any other questions or comments? I'm sorry, I didn't recognize, I don't know that we've ever met.
I'm sorry, I'm late. Shaughnessy Leon with the Alaska Railroad. I'm sitting in for Brian.
Oh.
I do have one question for Brian, just since he's not here. Will you be submitting a revised document for this group before it goes to the policy?
We'll have the comments and the revisions before it is approved to go to the policy committee.
Yeah, we'll have our 30-day review, we'll take all those comments and bring it to the TC at their next meeting, to whatever comments that this committee can adjudicate, and then post it. That's you guys.
Yeah, Ms. Webb?
Any clarification, Cindy, for the question you had about the alignment with the LRP?
Are you suggesting that they do that in advance?
They're not gonna get it done before that. They haven't started.
Do it during the
The idea
process.
was that there's lots of elements in the MTP that are in here, but that we haven't identified them as elements of the MTP. And I think that needs to happen so that it ties all of our, begins to really tie all the things we do.
So before it goes to them.
Right, but if, I mean, you're gonna give a presentation to the policy at the next meeting is informational. Anything we release, it goes to that. If you had an updated draft, it would still be nice to give them the latest of what they might be doing. I'm not expecting it to do before you post it.
Any other questions or comments from the committee?
On the budget, task 610, can we change that to task 600 and call that public transportation plan?
I believe Christine made that edit.
She did,
Mhm.
perfect.
I'm moving this too fast without clearing it.
All right, that's all I want. Thank
He was
you.
ahead.
Any other? questions or comments from the public at this time on the 2016 to 18 draft DPWP? And now you can add in the last thing.
Move to release the draft 2016 if I work, time work program for 3-day course review.
Second. Moved by Ms. Howe, seconded by Ms. Flowers. Are we sure there was a second? Are there any opposed to the motion? Hearing none. We are moved to release the draft.
Thank you.
Thank you. I know. All right, moving right along. Next item is the fourth quarter obligation report.
Okay, fourth quarter, bottom line, good news, we balanced. We're at 0. So, document before you, make sure I have my notes on one and the new one that I just got from you earlier. So, if you look at this, we added another column here. We are anticipating comments or questions that might come from the policy committee. So, if you look at the first column with the funding line there, that again, that is what was anticipated in the TIP. That's what we have programmed in the TIP. The next column shows what we originally anticipated for advanced construct that would be needed for that, for each project. Then you'll see what was actually obligated, in column A, actually obligated in the latest TIP. I'm sorry, that's what was programmed in the latest TIP. And then you'll have obligated, deobligated. What's left to obligate is column C. That makes more sense in the first and second quarter as we may not have finished obligating things. And then the last, the last colored column is the actual total obligation or deobligation. So you can see down farther in the columns, the red in parentheses, those were things that were deobligated. Final column would be what we actually advanced constructed. So, I'm looking, Aaron, are those tracking correctly? Abbott Road, we had 0 that was anticipated advanced constructing. We actually, well, that's right, because originally in the TIP, now I remember, we were going to do O'Malley first with the advanced constructed, and instead, Abbott jumped ahead. So that's why we AC'd the Abbott money instead of O'Malley. So, basically, everything that we thought was going to go with the exception of the C Street Ocean Dock Road access ramp reconnaissance study. Move that out to FY16. And so for the most part, we were tracking just like we needed to. If you look at the bottom of page 3, plus or minus, we're at 0%, so we did what we were supposed to ought to do. Did you say you're going to have the NHS stuff added to this for the policy committee?
Yeah, we normally have a bunch of extra stuff that's outside the AMATS allocation. I just didn't have time to update it, and I kind of want to maybe put them into 2 separate sheets. So you have AMATS allocation on one, or maybe like a couple spaces later, so you can see the difference between them, because it gets confusing when you look through the document. It just keeps going to everything else that's outside the allocation.
But
So-
for our purposes here today, this would be the allocation, the AMATS allocation, the stuff that he's talking about with the Table 6, et cetera, stuff outside the AMATS allocation for federal funds, NHS, et cetera, so maybe we'll get it added. Policy committee may not, but again, it's outside the AMATS allocation. So this is informational for you. We're tracking just like we're supposed to.
Any questions or comments from the committee?
Thank you, by the way, for the additional columns. That helps.
I think, yeah, I think this is a good way of showing, what we started out with, what really happened, and then in the end, we end up having to, we're borrowing for next year less than what we'd originally anticipated, and that we had 2 major projects in switch positions. I think like it's really easy to track and see what happened. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions from the committee? Are there any comments or questions from the public on the fourth quarter obligation? tip HSIP update. I love acronyms.
Surprise.
I don't know anything about it here.
Do you want me to?
It's just the updated numbers.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
This is another table in our tip that is outside the AMATS allocation. We've updated it. Aaron apparently doesn't want to talk about it. There you go.
I'm trying to let you be the center of attention for once, Craig.
Yeah.
For one.
I don't want to steal the show.
Aaron would, yeah, just kind of walk us through.
Yes. Okay, so this is table 2 of the tip. It's the HSIP program going on. And what we're doing is just kind of updating the actual projects that are in this table right now. So it's been a while since we've updated, about a year or so. So we kind of want to update it to where the status is. All the changes in red or all the red numbers and letters are changes. So you can see there are 5 new projects that have been added. And you can see a significant update to the actual funding. So this has no direct impact on the AMATS allocation itself, but it's just to give you an idea of what the projects are, kind of what their time frame is, and actually how much they're costing. So you can kind of see the comparison of what are the HSIP projects, costing the area. I don't know if you have specific questions about projects. I can help you try and answer that. If not, I may have to ask for help on that.
Yeah, for me, I think we're going to be having a presentation on the HSIP, an overview of the program and the projects in November, December.
Yes, we're trying to get together a presentation that we either John Knowles or Scott Thomas with our traffic and safety for the state, and we're working on that right now. They just didn't have enough time to get it done for this meeting, so it should be in November that we're expecting it, unless something pushes it out again. But we hope to update you guys soon. It'll actually be a presentation that kind of talks about the HSIP itself and what is it, how projects are selected, how they're funded, kind of what's the point of the projects. If they're data-driven, safety projects, that kind of stuff. So you can kind of get a better idea of when you actually see these projects in the real world, how they came about versus just like a mysterious drop that you don't really know anything about.
Are they gonna give a little bit of an overview of the HOU scan tour that we just participated in too?
I can ask them to, yes.
They should. It was a positive thing, I thought, so I think they should share some.
So what is it, FHWA scan tour?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that like a mosh pit? Kind of. It was a lot of people. A lot of people. in
They're a
our room,
rambunctious
so.
group today.
Yeah. I don't want to go too much into, I was part of it down in Juneau and was part of the most
Okay.
recent thing, but I think it'd be really positive information for them to share with the group.
I'll go ahead and talk to them and let them know to add something in.
Yeah. Any other questions or comments on this for me? Yeah, Ms. Mott?
Aaron, right about the 2015, there's little tiny numbers.
Oh.
10/10.
Oh, that has not been updated for a while, it seems. I will change that. There are so many things in this document that you just can't. Yes. And just for you guys, this is actually just an informational item because there's no approval needed to incorporate it into the tip, so it's like a staff change that we're doing. But we wanted to bring it forward. So if you notice anything else, please let me know.
My magnifying glass. So those years, that's a
Way to simplify.
Mhm.
When you say federal fiscal programming year, just say October 1 through,
Mhm.
9/30, like rather than having the month. Yeah, 9, because it looks like you have, from 10/10 to October 2010 to September of 2011.
Mhm.
Just put it up the way the other things say
Okay.
federal fiscal years from
That'll keep it
October
alive.
1 year to September the other. That way you're not having to constantly update the number.
I can probably end up just doing that once, so I don't have to keep repeating it every column.
Exactly.
Perfect.
That's why I said, thank you.
That's why I like bringing this to you guys.
Exactly.
No, we like it.
We like
I don't want to change it.
Yeah.
It's not changed. Change is bad.
Say it once.
Change is bad.
All right, any questions or comments from the public at this time?
Actually, I have a
sorry.
question on this.
Yeah, Ms. Walsh.
These are all in thousands, or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So for
Doesn't say that
example,
anywhere on here.
oh, I don't know if we say that anywhere in the tip, so maybe we'll add that in and.
Yeah, that's
Update.
cheap improvements otherwise.
Yep, $9,000. We're only spending $19,000 on all these projects. Hooray! If this was the port, it would be super
Ooh, Carl Sagan.
Ken is really getting there today.
Duly noted.
man, that's awesome.
Wish you had been.
All right, that's a good point. Okay, any other questions or comments from the public on the 2015-18 HSIP table? All right. So are there any other committee comments at this time for the good of the order?
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but I guess I better. It appears that this will probably be my last TAC meeting.
No.
But you won't be getting rid of me. The commissioner's sending a letter to put me on the policy committee, and that the new TAC member for DEC will be Alex Edwards, who's has been coming to our meetings all the time. So, I should be getting a meet this week. We should be getting
Okay.
a letter.
I don't have to change your name tag though. It doesn't say TAC.
You know.
Just take this with me.
Well, if they ever change, if they change the order, you're gonna make new ones anyway. For all of us. For all of us. So, anyway,
How many years on the TAC?
22?
Oh, it's not. And they've been contiguous.
Yes,
Yeah.
continuous.
I think you,
You and Steve,
No, no.
Steve was
Steve was-
Morgan,
yeah.
he's relatively new.
Wow, I think you
Relevant.
beat everybody else.
How long have you been on?
Oh, I've only been on 2 years.
She came back.
I was staff for 1 year, and then I was gone.
Oh, no.
22 years.
No, because before I was learning, there's lots of people.
You were a baby.
Yes, I was.
You should have told us, I would have made cake.
I know, somebody, any excuse to have sweets, I mean.
Move it up.
And I'll probably be coming to meetings anyway to listen in and help with Alex, learn all this. So I don't think, I'm not going away. It'll still be a pain, but.
We just now learned your title.
I know.
I do. On Monday.
It's bittersweet in a sense.
So-
because I'm very comfortable now.
This is already out of date?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks for knowing.
Dang it.
Well, we got 30 days. We'll
Yeah,
change
we
it.
have time. Well,
I did have her listed as the PC.
You did, yeah. I told her to change it. She did.
Well, I would ask everybody, please, to join me in a round of applause. Thank you. 2 years, that's awesome. Man.
Formerly city.
Didn't she used to give out mugs or something?
This is a sore subject.
No. Budget cuts?
She's chosen to be on AMATS.
I know. She's not leaving, so she's just.
So she doesn't get anything.
Tires will give her money.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the things, I'm now within 5 years of retiring. And I need to start training up new people, transitioning all that.
Then they're done it.
It's overrated.
Well, Alex, you're going to be coming in at a good time, because soon and very soon, we're going to be starting the process of the new MTP, and you'll get to be involved in the whole thing, rather than coming in midway like I did last time, because I had a lot of catching up to do when I came in halfway through, so, good timing.
Let us know what we can do to help the transition.
Well, I'm gonna have to do the things that's been happening. We'll probably come in with a lot of things. I mean, I like this part. I like you guys.
Now you have a vote.
Oh, shit.
Well, I have to be really careful because most of my view has always been from the technical side. Now I'm gonna be going. I will try, but I don't know how successful I'll be.
That's cool. We're gonna miss you, but, all right. Are there any other committee comments for the good of the order? Dr. Martin?
Where are we at with Citizen Advisory Committee solicitations?
I was just gonna say something.
Timing.
We have been getting a few applications trickling in. I have the Shugak Eagle River and the Anchorage Chamber of Commerce. I have those names already. I'm still waiting on B&T's name. I I am still waiting on the Federation of Community Council's name. I went back and forth with the J-Bear person, so I'm hopeful that will show up soon. And again, probably about half a dozen applications, so we are going to extend our outreach a little more, try and get some other folks to help us publicize it. If anyone here has any idea, names of people that you would like to, that might make a good name. The way we had originally written it was kind of an open-ended, until filled sort of thing. So I haven't looked specifically, but I don't believe we have one for every district yet.
Have you gone back to the community council and said, hey, you're gonna have this in the open seat? I know.
So
Just drumming up.
it's kind of, there's several levels. So I talked to I can't remember his title now, but he was going to talk to the president and see what names he wanted to, just haven't heard back from him again. So Mark, I can't remember his last name. Mark Butler.
Oh.
He said, Mark, it would seem like it would be you, but he has to have the president say, you're the guy.
No, but I mean, to go get the word out to all the other community councils that there are open.
Yeah, we did that. I'll do another push this week. I just reached out to the mayor's office and have a couple other emails going out saying, we need your help.
So have you contacted the assembly members themselves on their staff and see if they can put things
No,
out?
but that would be a great.
They're kind of, they're consistent.
Yeah, constituencies.
Most of the community councils have been dormant since 2009.
But almost
Huh?
almost
Well,
all these
I would
numbers are mailing
say,
lists.
Yes.
I would say even before then, maybe since inception, but.
Depends on it.
So on here, you have that the official recruitment closes the 23rd, but we may extend it depending on how many applications. Okay. Anything else for good of the order?
I guess I'll mention, we're currently doing a review of the 2040 RFP, so we're moving forward pretty successfully on that. Hopefully next week, Vivian and I and a few other people can get together and talk about it, kind of get it to its final iteration before submitting it or sending it onwards. So just letting you know, we are pushing that forward to start it as soon as possible.
Is that to get it to purchasing?
Yes.
Jimmy, if you have like a blurb or something that if you would like to send to the technical committee, then we can push it on to people that.
Absolutely.
People who may fit within the, and as well as a list of people we're targeting.
Perfect. I'll send that out today.
Thanks.
And I know the mayor's office just did a call
For boards and
For boards and
they did training
commissions.
too. Yeah.
So,
I think if you talk to assembly members on their
That's a good
management,
idea.
I think so too.
I
Yeah.
think that would.
And it's district specific, which is what we're looking for.
Right, and
So-
when I wrote up that thing about policy, that was one of the items.
Read it too long ago.
I found it, I could resend it.
Just another little dig in there.
anything else? I say we did do it in half an hour. So the Freight Advisory Committee is meeting the 14th and the Policy Committee is meeting the 22nd. And it sounds like we will be here next month on the 12th rather than the 5th. So we will adjourn the meeting at 3 o'clock.
Yeah, it was easy.